Watch Revolution. Today we're going to talk about the concept of use value. One can understand use value as one of three types of value that we're going to use to make sense of capitalism. So let's talk about use value as a way of understanding capitalism. We'll talk about exchange value and surplus value in other videos. So when we're talking about use value, then we're talking about the quality of things. Let's say I'm making breakfast. The eggs I cook taste pretty good, the yolks look fine, the pink salt I add isn't too salty, it adds to the flavor of the spicy salsa that goes well with my milky and melty cheese. You'll notice the difference of each of these qualities and can't easily be compared to each other. I can have milky cheese or hard cheese. My salt can come in thick grain or thin grain. However, the difference doesn't change in quantity, but always quality. Keep in mind the incommensurability of the use value of two objects. Incommensurability means we cannot measure two things together. We're not just talking apples and oranges, we're talking apples and mountain bikes. We cannot compare a wonderfully made, organic, freshly sourced pizza to the greasy $5 frozen pizza we might grab at midnight. We cannot compare a perfectly measured Baroque symphony to our favorite trashy club or punk song. They're two different things, and it's important that we recognize this difference between the use value present in the quality of objects, even if they share similar characteristics. More importantly, labor stands as the most important use value in existence. First, we should recognize that we're talking about the use value of labor. That means we're talking about all the different uses of labor, from cooking a hamburger to painting a picture to open heart surgery. The exchange value of labor puts all of these different uses of labor into the same sort of measurement. We talk about this in our video on exchange value. However, we should understand that each form of labor remains basically different and has its own particular use value. Second, we should recognize the use value of labor compounds in all sorts of different ways. We should recognize that the burger maker depends on compound labor of all the farmers, truck drivers, and everyone else to carry out the simple task of getting you a delicious hamburger. Similarly, a surgeon has compounded years of medical school, instruction, and on-the-job training to have the ability to cut you open and save your life. Thirdly, we don't need to absolutely define use value. We just need a working concept so that we can compare use value to exchange value so we can understand how surplus value is extracted or made. Our point isn't to get stuck in the details arguing over whether this or that object, commodity, or action represents use value. Our point here is to have a strong, working idea of capitalism as a system. This video has been brought to you by labor. Labor gives you everything you want and everything you don't want for as long as there's been human beings. Labor gets work done. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.